The Hoosiers get to 10-0 for the first time in program history. Beating Michigan really shows us that there are some tougher roads to hoe ahead. We'll talk about the game, the tailgating situation, everything. I was there. It was electric. Let's get into it.
Pretty simple. I win.
For three on the way.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron, here, talking about the Indiana-Michigan game today. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this Indiana Hoosiers community on here. The game, the tailgating situation. First off, let me tell you about the tailgating situation down there, because if you've been to IU games in the past, I mean, they're barely ever sold out unless they're playing Ohio State or Michigan. You'll get a big crowd for the game. Some of the ones I've went to when they played Ohio State, it was like, I think 60-40 Ohio State fans to Indiana fans. So this was a work in progress. All of the lots were sold out completely. Me and my dad, we ended up tailgating in Boulder Creek Apartments across the street from the stadium. We parked in the church lot on the corner. That is a good spot to know. That church lot on the corner opens at noon, and it is donation only. So give them a good donation and help them. I talked to them a bunch over there. That's a huge fundraiser for that church. So, but I learned my lesson, because I did not buy a pass for tailgating, so I didn't buy a parking pass, and I'm thinking
possibly be any dumber. You go and do something like this.
There's going to be a parking lot open, and there just wasn't. So just giving out free hot dogs and all of that. Sometimes stuff just blows up in your face. It did a little bit. Let's get into talking about the game. We have a couple of things to go over. This video is sponsored by BetUS. Use my promo code Indiana125 and save. You will get 125% in free money on your first 3 deposits. Also, all of the Adsense revenue, and happy Veterans Day to everybody out there today. My grandfather was in the Navy. Here's my grandfather, and a big part of why I am a huge IU fan. See, there he is right there. He's really the only first person in my family to get the GI Bill, and then went to Bloomington and went to school at Indiana University. So got to give a big shout out to him on Veterans Day, because a big part of why my family is like huge IU fans as well, because of him going there, and my grandma growing up in Bloomington. They were always huge, watch all the basketball games, never missed a basketball game. So happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. All the AdSense revenue on this channel goes to T2T.org, is for the holiday season. Without veterans, we are nothing, and today is the day to celebrate them. And thank your grandfather, thank whoever it is that served for the country. It is very important. So without further ado, let's get into talking about the Indiana Hoosiers. All right, so the temperature of the game, I'm going to tell you. So early on in the game, I know I made a video before the game saying Michigan, they have only won games where if you look at the games they've won, they've thrown the ball like 12 times, like 17 times. They've barely thrown the ball at all in the games they've won. I thought they're going to come out, they're going to pound the ball. They didn't. They really had a game plan to throw the ball early, and that really caught Indiana off. They threw the ball to Loveland a few times on the sideline. Indiana's zone defense was playing off the ball, so they were pretty much giving them some soft coverage on that very first drive. And then Indiana made the play where they knocked the ball out of his hands, but Michigan gets a field goal, goes up 3-0. And it kind of felt like, wow, they're doing something different. They have a game plan. And look, Michigan wanted to make this into an ugly game. But Indiana came back out, got 7 points, took the lead. But early on in the game, you're thinking Indiana's going to start really rolling after they get the first touchdown. Cooper had the back shoulder in the end zone, and Keyshawn Williams, and we'll talk about him more at the end, but the catch he had on the sideline to get that 1 foot down, that was a great catch. He'll be like, show that clip right here. Yeah, just a great catch on that by him. And then his punt return at the end, that was so critical when everybody was on pins and needles in there. Then Surratt got the touchdown. Indiana goes up 14-3, and you're thinking at that point, you're really thinking they're going to roll in this game. But in the back of my mind, when you were watching it play out, Michigan's defensive line was really balling out. And once they were able to get after Rourke a few times and start to dial up some of that pressure, and look, Michigan, they are no slouch. They are a lot different than a lot of the teams we've played so far. The pedigree of the players they have compared to Washington or Maryland, they get the top notch. They got 2 guys on their defensive line that are going to be playing in the NFL. I don't know if Washington or Maryland or, Michigan State, they have that on their team. So, this is a game where you're playing like a higher caliber of player. Although Michigan's coaching and everything like that has let them down the entire year, like this game for Michigan was a make it or break it time in their season. I mean, whether or not they were going to go to 6-4 or 5-5, it was really a time where Michigan had a chance against a ranked opponent, which the script in this game is totally flipped of what it normally is. And then it reminds you in the back of your mind in the second half, it reminds you we haven't beat Michigan since 1987. This isn't supposed to be easy. It's not going to be easy to beat a team like Michigan. It's just not. And so Indiana, and I hate to say these really cliche things on here, but Indiana was really in a spot that they really needed to be in to get some experience of being in a tight game. And then to make the big play, the punt return at the end. And that was coming down. That ball was really, and that was right in front of us because we were sitting on about the 30-yard line, 30-yard line on the press box side. And that ball was coming down right in front of us. And it was really, had kind of a funny spin on it. And then you see how he was able to come up and make the play on that. And here's the thing. I mean, everybody wants to make a big play. And, Surratt had a couple of drops there. And the tension is just getting tenser and tenser. You could feel it in the stadium. You could feel it with the players. You can even maybe feel it with Cignetti. Maybe he wasn't nervous, but everybody was nervous because Michigan was within 3 points right there. They got the ball. They could have went down and tied the game. They did not. And Michigan's quarterback was awful. I thought he's got a really bad motion where he kind of takes him a long time to get rid of the ball. But I mean, there was like a 4th down play at the very end of the game where that guy was running like wide open across the middle as that was on 3rd down. And he just overthrew the guy by like 3 feet and really didn't have much pressure on him. So was not impressed with Michigan's quarterback play. But I will say this, Michigan has had a hard road to toe. By the time they got done with winning the national championship last year, a lot of the transfer portal and all that type of stuff was already done. So, Michigan, like, not only did their coach leave, but they got a bad start on recruiting, like trying to get a quarterback out of the portal. So they stuck with these guys they have, and they've been playing these different quarterbacks, and they're just not that good. I thought the conservative end to the half maybe put me a little bit on edge. I thought Indiana, normally with like 1:30 on the clock when they got the ball back there, that they would try to make a play to get down the field, and they didn't. Playing conservative right there, where you've been fast, fierce, relentless the whole season and trying to just run up the score on people, it's like this is a different type of game. So it's going to be played out in a different type of way because Michigan's defense was no slouch. I mean, they were manhandling our interior part of our line whenever they wanted to. It was just tough sledding, but they gritted it out. It was a gritty win for the Hoosiers to win 15-20. You're going to have games like this. Look, like Notre Dame, like they had a game like this and lost it against Northern Illinois, and they're still ranked in the top teams. But Indiana was able to still get this gritty win against Michigan. It was an absolute fantastic day. I mean, I have not seen so many people just ready and happy to be watching Indiana football. It's unreal. But yeah, what's that? What did you think about the game?
Carved from the sands of the Wabash River and formed into a monkey lamp that's sold at Home Goods. It's the Hillbilly Monkey Perspective on Indiana Sports Connection.
Well, they knew it wasn't going to be easy to beat the old Michigan Wolverines. They weren't going to come roll down here and die. I mean, the other thing is, our coach, he talked the talk and he said, Michigan sucks. Well, guess what? Now they're coming to town and they're going to be remembering that you said that they suck. So, you know, if you talk the talk, and this is a cliche, you got to walk the walk. So, yeah, no way no Michigan or Ohio State or Purdue, you say they suck. They're going to come in here and be ready to beat your ass. You better believe it. And you better be ready for that. They're going to come in. They're going to punch you in the mouth. And now they got to play Ohio State. They suck too. But you know what? We gotta change the culture at Indiana that we're going to be winners now. We're not going to be losers all the time.
Spot on, my friend. Spot on. Because you're right. If you're going to change the culture and you want a winning culture, you got to be able to back up your talk. And if you're going to say Michigan sucks, and you're going to say Ohio State sucks, we got one out of those three. So we got Ohio State next. Then we got Purdue. If they beat Ohio State, they will play Oregon Big Ten championship game, which would be another big test before the college football playoff that would just give them a little bit more experience playing against a really top-notch team before the college football playoff. I think they can beat Ohio State. I'm going to make more videos this week talking about what happened in the Indiana basketball game yesterday because I got a lot of thoughts on that. And I'm going to make another video talking about what we got coming up at Ohio State. Also, if you want to win a shirt like this, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button down below, and at 1,300 subscribers, you'll be entered to win a shirt from Rally House. Thank you so much for being here on this Veterans Day. Happy Monday to everybody, and a great win for the Hoosiers. And I was recovering all day yesterday. I was going to make a video, but my voice was gone, and I was just totally out of it and tired. So thank you so much for being here today. Go Hoosiers. The football team is 10-0 for the first time in program history. And so can't wait to see what's going to happen next. It is an unbelievable experience going down there to the games. It's like a carnival. I just could not believe how the tailgating situation was. It was unreal. But thank you so much for watching this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. Until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans.